Now, before we go any further, as if you're interested in submitting a bid on the property, if you're a real estate professional, you're going to have to create a login ID. And up here at the very top, you see it says login. If you're the general public and you're an investor or an owner occupant and you're interested in getting updated on properties, you're going to want to do that too. You register with this site and it tells you here, are you the public or are you a bidder? You're only a bidder if you're a real estate professional and you want to submit bids on the behalf of buyers or for yourself as a real estate professional with HUD. If you're the general public and you want to create an account, it's very easy. What you'll do is you'll come up here to public, you'll click on public. What it's going to do is it's going to ask you to create a username, and here are all the criteria that you'll need to do that. Create a password, confirm it. It'll ask you some security questions, first name, last name, and email address. Once you do that, you agree to HUD's terms that you can search the site and they can send you updates on the property. You're not going to get a lot of spam. It's a really, really good site, and you don't get a lot of junk email. Now, I encourage you to do that if you're interested in buying HUD homes, because what you can do is if you see a home that you're interested in, what you'll do is once you log in and you do your search, you can hit save right here and it'll save that to your database. You can see here I have recent searches that I've done, and I get notifications via email if there's a property that I may be interested in. A good example is I have some investors in Richmond, Texas that want to know if there are any good buys over there. So whenever a property comes up for sale in Richmond, I get an email from HUD saying, hey, this is a new listing in Richmond. And I let them know, hey guys, here's a property that's just got listed by HUD. We may have to wait 30 days till it opens up to investors, but at least keep it on your radar. So it's always a good idea to register with this site. Now, let me pause for a second and go over to the real estate professionals that want to submit a bid on a HUD home. If you're a real estate broker and you want to submit bids on HUD homes, you have to have what's called an NAID number. That is a number that HUD assigns to you, noting that you are registered with them to submit a bid. If you're a real estate agent working for a broker, you need to make sure that your broker has an NAID number so that you can submit bids under their umbrella. Now, how do you get an NAID number if you don't have one? You see these tabs across the top here. The fourth one says NAID application. What you'll do is you'll click on that, and down here it tells you what you'll need to have as a selling broker. Now, if you're just an investor or an owner-occupant and you're not a real estate professional, you have a regular job, don't worry about this. This only is for people that are licensed real estate people. And your broker will need to supply them with all of these 6 items. Most importantly are these 2 forms here, the SAMS 11111 and the SAMS 1111A. If your broker's busy, just print out these 2 forms, have them sign them. You can send in a copy of their license, their driver's license, and a recent utility bill or bank statement that supports the address that your broker has an office in. So that's pretty easy to do. Once you do that, in a few weeks, HUD will send your broker their NAID number, and then you can submit bids on this site. But as a real estate salesperson, you will still need to have a login to submit bids. You have to verify that your broker has an NAID number to do that. So it's pretty simple. If you guys have any questions, feel free to email me or call me, and I'm happy to answer any questions about that. But that's very, very simple. Okay, guys. So now if you look here, you have this area where you can narrow down your searches. I know a lot of you guys that are probably interested in HUD homes are going to be investors. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to come down on this tab and I'm going to click investor, because as an investor, you cannot bid on properties that are open to owner occupants. You sign a form as an owner occupant saying that you're going to live in the property for at least 1 year and you're buying it as your primary residence. If HUD catches you falsifying that information, they can fine you up to $250,000 and you can spend up to 2 years in jail. So it is not worth it, guys, to falsify this documentation. Just play by the rules. Now, if you're genuinely going to buy a property, live in it for a year, and then maybe buy something bigger, that's fine with HUD, but they do have a rule. If you're an owner-occupant and you buy a HUD home as an owner-occupant, you have to live there for at least 12 months, and you cannot have bought a HUD home for the prior 24 months. So you can only buy a HUD home as an owner-occupant every 2 years. If you have questions about that, guys, just contact me and I'll simplify it for you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on investor. Now, we're looking at investor-friendly properties in Bexar County. We're going to hit search. Right now, all properties, there's 25, but if I hit search over here, it's going to bring 9. So right now in San Antonio, there are 9 investor-friendly properties. I would click on this map. It's going to open up this little map box, and I'll come and I'll zoom in and I'll see, okay, in San Antonio, where are the investor-friendly properties? Because let's see if there are any near an area that I'd like to be an investor. This one over here on Globe Avenue, 447 Globe Avenue. It's a 4-bedroom, 1-bath house. It's $55,000. It's almost 1,400 square feet, built in 1952. What we can do is I'm going to slide this window across and get a detailed view on that one. It just happens to be one of the first ones on this list, but if it wasn't, I can come up here and I can type in Globe, and it's going to narrow that list down to this property. So what we have right here is a really quick summary of that property. If you can click on either the case number or the photo, and it's going to give you a more detailed explanation of this property. So here it is. We're going to start at the very top. I don't know if you guys remember, but the FHA case number is the number that HUD assigns to each of their individual properties. If you're a real estate professional, that number needs to be on almost all of the bid forms that you submit on your buyer's behalf. Eligible bidders. Who is eligible to bid on this property? All bidders. So this is open to investors, it's open to owner-occupants, it's open to nonprofits. When is the bid submission deadline? Bid submission deadline is midnight tonight. So every day there's taking bids on this property until they get an accepted offer. How much time is remaining till the bids are due? 5 hours and 5 minutes. So in 5 hours and 5 minutes, that's a deadline that you have to submit your bid. I'm going to go over all of this information in the next video.